It was the start of something that had been watching her long before she even knew it existed. Amara stood at the bus stop, her arms folded tightly across her chest. Even at 9:47 p.m., the streets of Yaba, Lagos were alive. Danfo conductors yelling destinations, horns clashing like arguments, the scent of roasted corn mixing with exhaust fumes, and people, always people, moving like waves that refused to rest. It had been a long day, too long. Her boss had shouted at her for a mistake she didn't make. Her phone had died before she could call an Uber. And now she was stuck, waiting for a bus that never seemed to come. She exhaled sharply. God, I beg. A light drizzle began to fall. Perfect. She stepped under the rusted zinc shade of the bus stop, brushing a strand of hair from her face. Her heels clicked softly against the concrete as she shifted her weight. That was when she noticed him. He had been there before, she was sure of it. Leaning against one of the pillars, dressed in a deep mustard outfit that stood out too boldly against the dull surroundings, he looked out of place. Not poor, not struggling, not like someone who should be waiting for a downfall. And yet, there he was, watching her. Amara stiffened. She looked away, quickly, pretending not to notice. Lagos had told her one thing, mind your business. But still, something about him made her uneasy. Not dangerous, not exactly, just wrong. Like a sentence that almost made sense but didn't. She checked her phone again, though it was still dead, a pointless habit. Your phone won't come on. The voice was deep, calm. Close, too close. Amara turned sharply. He was standing beside her now. She hadn't heard him move. Her heart skipped. Excuse me? He tilted his head slightly, his gaze steady on hers. I said, your phone won't come on, he repeated. You've pressed the button 5 times already. Amara blinked. How do you? You're worried, he interrupted gently. Not about getting home, about tomorrow. A chill crept up her spine. Look, I don't know you. You think your boss is going to fire you. Her breath caught. What? But he won't, the man continued. He'll call you into his office by 10:15 a.m., pretend to be angry, then ask you to redo the report. He trusts you more than he lets on. Amara stared at him. Her heartbeat quickened. How do you know that? The man smiled faintly. Not amused, not mocking, just knowing. I know a lot of things, Amara. Her name. He said her name. A cold wave crashed through her. She took a step back. Who are you? He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he looked past her, into the night, as if listening to something she couldn't hear. Then he spoke. You shouldn't have trusted Kemi in university. Amara froze. Her chest tightened. No, 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 no. You told her about the scholarship interview, he continued quietly. She told someone else. That's why you didn't get it. Her knees felt weak. That's not, she whispered, but it was. It was exactly what happened. Something she had buried, something she had never told anyone else. Stop it, she said, her voice trembling. The man turned back to her, his eyes softer now. You still dream about that night, he added. The one you pretend never happened? Her vision blurred. Stop, she snapped louder this time. People at the bus stop turned to look, but the man didn't flinch. I'm not trying to hurt you. Then what do you want, she demanded. He studied her face for a long moment, and then quietly, you. Silence. The rain fell harder. Amara's stomach twisted. That's not funny. I'm not joking. Then you're crazy, maybe. She swallowed. Stay away from me. He nodded slowly, as if he expected that. I will, he said. Relief flickered in her chest. But we'll meet again. Her heart dropped. How do you know that? He smiled again. This time it felt different, colder, because he wasn't guessing. He was certain. Because you'll come looking for me. Amara didn't sleep. She tried. God knew she tried. But every time she closed her eyes, she heard his voice. You still dream about that night. She tossed on her bed, the ceiling fan spinning lazily above her. 12:13 a.m. Her room felt too quiet, too still. She sat up abruptly. No, she muttered to herself. This is nonsense. Maybe he was just a stalker. Maybe he followed her. Maybe. But how did he know about Kemi? About the scholarship? About that night, her chest tightened. She hadn't told anyone, not even her closest friend, not even her mother. A soft knock echoed from somewhere. Amara froze. Her breath caught another knock. She turned slowly toward the door. Silence, then her phone buzzed. She flinched. She grabbed it quickly. The screen lit up. Unknown number. Her fingers trembled as she answered. Hello. Silence, then. You didn't sleep? Her blood ran cold. It was him. You're outside my house? She whispered. No. Then how? You left your light on. Amara's head snapped toward the bulb above her. Still on. Her breathing quickened. You're scared, he said softly. Of course I am. I am scared. You shouldn't be. Why not? Because I would never hurt you. His voice wasn't threatening. It wasn't aggressive. If anything, it was sincere. And somehow that scared her more. Who are you? She asked again. A pause. Then, the next morning, Amara could barely think. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Adrian's face, his calm, unreadable eyes, the way he said her name like he already knew her soul. She tried to go about her day. At work, she stared blankly at her laptop, typing nonsense into spreadsheets. Her boss noticed but didn't question it. She couldn't focus. By evening, she knew what she had to do. She had to find him. She returned to the bus stop. The drizzle had stopped, leaving the streets damp and reflective. She scanned the crowd, looking for anyone in mustard. He was there. Maybe it was just a coincidence, she muttered, but the memory of her phone buzzing at 12:13 a.m. made her shiver. Then she saw him, across the street, leaning casually against a streetlight. His gaze was fixed on her. Her heart raced. She wanted to run, but her legs moved forward anyway. Adrian, she called. He didn't flinch, didn't smile, just watched her approach. Why are you following me? She demanded when she got close. I'm not following you, he said softly. I'm waiting. Waiting for what? For you to ask the right question, he replied. She frowned. What do you mean? You'll see, he said, then disappeared into the crowd. Amara stopped, breathless. And somewhere deep inside, a dangerous curiosity began to burn. The following week, Amara couldn't focus on anything except Adrian. She noticed small things, the places he appeared, the way he seemed to know when she would leave home, when she would laugh, even when she would cry. One evening, she saw him sitting outside a cafe, scribbling something into a notebook. She approached, heart pounding. You're everywhere, she said, trying to sound angry. Not everywhere, he said, glancing up, just where you need me. Amara froze. What do you want from me? She asked, her voice trembling. Nothing, he said softly. I only want you to understand. Understand what? He closed the notebook and met her gaze. That life isn't as random as you think, that some people are meant to cross your path for a reason. Amara's stomach twisted. She didn't even know if she wanted to believe him or run. On a Thursday, Amara had fallen asleep on the couch, the TV buzzing faintly in the background. Her phone vibrated again. Unknown number. Amara, his voice whispered, you dreamed it again. She bolted upright. How do you know? You don't remember telling anyone, he said, but you always do this. You try to hide things, but they come out in your dreams. Amara pressed the phone to her chest. She didn't know whether to be terrified or something else. I need to see you, she whispered. Then come, he said simply. You know where? She did. Somehow, she knew exactly where he meant. It was the university library, the place where she had first met Kemi, where the scholarship dream had died. Adrian was there, sitting at a table, his master jacket draped over the chair beside him. He looked ordinary, almost human. You followed me here, she asked, breathless. I told you I'm not following you, he said, eyes calm. I just wait where you'll come. Amara wanted to scream. Instead, she sat across him. Why do you know so much about me? She demanded. Because I've always been here, he said. Almost sadly, even when you didn't notice. What does that mean? You'll find out soon, he said. And for the first time, Amara felt something dangerous. Trust. They began to meet more often, at cafes, bus stops, even the quiet corners of her apartment building. Every encounter left her heart pounding and her mind spinning. Amara hated herself for wanting him, but she couldn't help it. His calm, knowing presence was intoxicating. You shouldn't feel like this, she said one night, staring at him. Feel what? He asked, leaning closer. This attraction, she said. He smiled faintly, almost teasing. Why shouldn't you? You've been waiting for someone who understands you, someone who sees you. Her pulse raced. She wanted to step back, she wanted to run, but she stayed because she wanted him to. Then it happened. One night, as rain fell hard on Lagos, Adrian finally explained. I've known you longer than you think, he said. What do you mean? I've been watching over you since university, since before that scholarship. Before Kemi betrayed you, I've always been here, in small ways, making sure you survived, making sure you didn't lose yourself. Amara's hands shook. Who are you? He took a deep breath. I'm not just human, not entirely. Her eyes widened, fear and disbelief collided. You mean? Exactly, he said softly. I know things I shouldn't. I see things before they happen, but I'm real and I care for you. Her mind spun, but even as doubt and fear crept in, she felt the pull of him, the magnetic force she couldn't resist. But she wasn't the only one looking for him. A message appeared on her phone. You have what I want. Stay away from him. Her blood ran cold. Adrian's expression hardened. They found me, he said, and now you're in danger too. Danger? She whispered. Yes, he said, but we'll face it together if you want to. Her chest tightened. Fear, yes, but also something else. Something she had never felt before. Yes, she whispered back. And in the heart of Lagos, under the rain and the chaos, two strangers stood on the edge of something that was about to change everything.